Howard, the Obama corporate administration, I mean, you're reading it everywhere. I mean, it used to be that just a couple of media outlets, progressive media outlets, would be critical of this president and say, you know, really, enough is enough with this whole corporate thing. You come in as a populist and you leave like just a corporate, one of the guys on Wall Street. What's your take on it?
Well, I think it's best exemplified by the most recent appointment of Secretary of Commerce Penny Pritzker from the Hyatt board,
Oh, yeah.
a billionaire out of Chicago. You know, Pritzker owned Superior Bank, where she pioneered subprime operations that targeted the poor and the working middle class minorities. She crashed it for $1 billion, which was bailed out by the taxpayers, destroyed the lives of numerous families who lost their savings there, and she has a vile anti-union record. This is the president's choice for Secretary of Commerce. It's pretty depressing, actually.
Well, it's Tom Wheeler. What is your take on Tom Wheeler, Howard? Isn't it the same kind of deal? This is a guy, he's a mega fundraiser for Obama. He's supposed to be in charge of the FCC, and critically important for the average person out there. And this is a guy making decisions. This guy has a bad history.
Well, Tom Wheeler was Nicholas Johnson, who was the previous chairman of the FCC, described his appointment as bizarre because the ultimate public interest is how the FCC is defined by Congress, that it's supposed to be run for the ultimate public interest. They control the internet, the airways, digital communications. And what does President Obama put in charge? A lobbyist, just like we had in a previous discussion about how the lobbyists go in to run the very agencies where they've lobbied for years. But Wheeler is also a venture capitalist who does business with those people who are doing business with the FCC. And it doesn't bode well for us that he was a member of the President's Advisory Committee on the Intelligence Board, and we know what Obama's policy has been on privacy. So tying that into the FCC doesn't work. It's kind of like Bloomberg appointing Trump to be head of the New York Real Estate Board. It's a classic fox in the hen house.
Yeah, but what you have here, you still have progressives out there. It's almost like suspension of disbelief, isn't it, Howard? I mean, you know, even after Mary Jo White was appointed as SEC chair, you still had progressives going, oh, well, no, that's okay. Well, no, it wasn't okay. Mary Jo White was somebody who was in charge of stopping critical investigations of Wall Street. When the administration should have been investigating for stealing money, Mary Jo White was there to say, no, we're going to shut down the investigations totally. At some point, don't progressives have to say, you know, we get it now, we were lied to, that this guy's great, he's a great stump speech speaker, but when it comes to delivering reality, the two are very different. I mean, at what point do we say, let's admit this?
Well, in defense of the president on Mary Jo White, he had to appoint her to head the SEC because Bernie Madoff was unavailable.